Good morning. I'm just going to take a quick walk around this morning. What I kind of say is my walkabout. And I just finished feeding my cat, Miss Lucy. These are some willow trees I planted about a year ago. They were just barely out of the ground. These are willows that you can use for weaving or biomass, or if you want to make a good source for biochar. A couple of weeks ago I started getting some orange beetles in there and some little black bugs on them. So I like to try and check them every morning just to make sure that they're not coming back. I just got them before they got ahead of me. Now, this is my garden. It started out just as pure pasture, and I covered it up with plastic. And I had a decent garden last year and trying again this year. We've got peas here, and down the other 2/3 I've got beans. This dirt here is my taters fixing to come up. You can't really see my okra yet. It's just barely sprouting. I lost some of my cucumbers, the plants that I'd gotten, because my experiment with my homemade greenhouse didn't work, but I think I finally figured that out. I'll save that for another video. So here are all my little okra plants starting to come up. And then, since my greenhouse didn't work, I had to go get some store-bought plants. So I've got mortgage busters, and I've got some cherry tomatoes and some Roma tomatoes. And then I've got some cayenne peppers and red and green bell peppers. I'm going to try my hand at some squash, some cantaloupe, and cucumber and watermelon. Then back here where we first came in is the beginning of my herb garden over here. I've got lavender and thyme and basil and oregano. And then over here in the other corner, that's my Russian comfrey. That's been in the ground a couple of years and it's doing pretty well. Now let's walk over here. And these are the bigger part of the willows. I had about 25 plants over by the container. See, those are those little black bugs that I've got to keep an eye on and make sure they don't come in and take over. So I'm just trying to walk about every morning and see if I can see any of those little orange beetles. They almost look like a ladybug. Seems like a lot of the invasive exotic animals or bugs look like ladybugs when they're not. Here's one of them. It just looks like that. Up until a couple of years ago, I'd never seen anything like it. Here's another one. Oh, here's another one. Well, when I planted these just about a year ago, if you can, let me see if I can find one. If you can see, the base of that stump was right here. There's about 12 inches of it in the ground, and all the rest of this has grown up over the year. And I cut a bunch of it back when it went dormant in the wintertime. Then last fall, I got a different variety of willows that I put in these big tubes. Those tubes are about 4 foot tall. And I planted what they call willow rods. This is an experiment. I don't know if it's going to succeed or not. But you can see the plant growing inside the tube. I planted them in the ground right around Thanksgiving and had one more rod than I had tubes for. So here's the one rod that doesn't have a tube around it. And that's what that looks like. That plant, that variety of willow, if you don't cut it or harvest it, it's supposed to grow up to be about 6 foot tall. And I just like to walk through here first thing in the morning, just kind of poke my nose down the tube, make sure I don't have any critters or stuff in there and everything's looking good. Just like to see things grow. This particular one, most of the growth is right here at the top, which is kind of cool. It's popping its nose out the top of the tube. But they've done real well. And I'm hoping that they'll continue to do well. They're a variety that handles the cold a little bit better than the heat, so it's kind of an experiment on that at this point. And now we need to go, and next step is let the birds out of the chicken tractor. Now the chicken tractor is something that I got designs, some of the designs online, and then I went and YouTubed it, and they were all doing the broiler chickens, and I wanted something that I could stand up in and have laying hens in, and I ended up coming up with a little bit different design than anybody else's. I'm a very imaginative plagiarist. I like taking other people's designs and then tweaking it to help it better meet what I need it to do for me. So let's let the girls out this morning, and that's a basic walkabout for the day. Come on, guys. Well, I hope y'all have a blessed day. Thanks for watching.